Right. Okay. A very good evening, guys. Can you all let me know if you all can hear me and see a screen as well? Yes. And let me know on the chat box. Okay. Good. Good. Nice. So today, Lama, is our very first day of our revision class. I know this time is a time right after school can be a little bit tiring, but this time will only be there for the next 3 months. After that, the time of the revision class will actually change. I'll inform that you all as well today. So we'll get started and we'll get going. So before I get started, before I actually get into, let's say, teaching and let's say getting all of this done, I'll just quickly run you through how this revision class works so that you also know how to get best use of your whole class. Yes, how many of you all got the tunes? Yes, I saw around 50% of the tunes were delivered. I just checked the courier system before. Yes, did you all get the tunes? Some of you all, I think you all would have not got. Don't worry, you all will get it within the next few days. Okay, so looking at the chat box, looks like around 60-70% of you all have got it. No? Nice. So most of you all have got it. A few of you all would have not yet got it, Lamai. The ones who have not yet got it, I sent the PDF of the paper that is there on the group as well. Uh, you can work on that. So I'll tell you how the thing works. Yes, the 50 tunes were also there inside that for the theory people. Okay, so I'll tell you how the revision class works, what we are going to do, how can you make use of it, so that you're actually not lost, because otherwise what happens, Lama, you all are lost and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to make use of it. Even though you don't continue from next month, that is your decision to make. This month, Lama, we will focus completely on unit number 1. So unit number 1 itself in your paper gives you 28 marks. 4 MCQs, 8 marks, 1 essay question, that's 20 marks. So out of your 200 mark paper, unit 1 gives you 28 marks. So we'll, in the next 4 to 5 classes, we'll try to focus fully, get all the papers and everything done. I think you would have got around 11 papers just for unit number 1. We'll focus and get all of that done. You can guarantee that you will get maybe all 28, or at least come close to getting all 28 out there. So to start off with, Lama, I'll give you all a small introduction and we'll start off with that. Before I get into teaching, I'll tell you how this revision class works, what my plan is for y'all, and what we are going to do. So this is the plan. I'm guessing y'all can see a new screen. It's loading, hold on. So this is the plan that I am going to put out for y'all, and this is what I want y'all to follow as well going forward. So all of us, Lamai, whether we like it or whether we don't, all of us, at least in the back of our mind, we want to get an A. Not just the A, some of you all even want to do much more than an A. Right? You don't want to just get 75, but you want to get, let's say, 90, 95. You want to go to, let's say, a level of an island rank. You want to do really well. So for all of that, just we need to know, Lamai, we need to know what to do and what not to do. So I'll just explain to you what I am going to do in this revision class and how it's going to help you get things done. So in this revision class, Lamai, we will be looking at unit by unit. So first we start with unit number 1. This one I will do unit number 1. I'll take around 4 to 5 classes, ideally 4 classes. Next month, we will go into unit 2. So we go unit by unit in our revision class. Now, our revision class is, Lamai, not a theory class. I'll start off with that as well. Now, in our theory class, Lamai, most of you all are my theory class students. You all know how I teach them. In the theory class, we go slowly, we discuss concepts, we go very much in detail because that's the first time that we are learning a thing. Now, in the revision class, my focus is not to teach you theory. My focus is, Lamai, to quickly recap the theory and to do a paper. To quickly recap the theory and to do a paper. So in unit number 1, did you all open your file and see what was there? What was there? In your unit 1 file, revision, forget about the theory parts, what was there? Yes, no, at least out of the curiosity, broke the envelope, opened the file and just at least checked something is there, no. Some of your file is just there. Now you are finding the file, this fellow send something, no. Let me find. So in your unit number file number, I'll tell you what and what is there and when are we going to do this. So listen carefully. Some of those you all are doing at home. Some of it you will do it with me. So in your unit number one file lamai, the one that you get for revision, I have broken the unit into 4 focus areas. I have broken the unit into 4 areas lamai, so that it is easy for us to study. For example, unit number 1, I have 4 focus. So all the units, I will break it down that way. So I have broken it into 4 focus areas. The first focus area is on what? Micro macroeconomics, positive normative statements, goods, resources. It's on that. So I'll just write that down. That is the first one. Micro and macro. There is goods. There are resources. The second part of this unit is on what, Lamai? The second part of this unit is on scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. That's the second part. The third focus area of this unit. Now, why have I broken that, Lamai? So it's easy for you all to study. When you all are studying also, don't study pages, Lamai. Some of you all have, no, today I will study 10 pages of the tute. But when you are studying also, okay, today I will study this focus area. These focus areas are things, Lamai, that you can study in 2 hours. Maximum 2 hours. So the third focus area is, Lamai, the economic systems. Remember, in unit number 1, we have market economy, command economy. Under that, economic systems. And the last focus area is production possibility curves. So I have broken the chapter into 4 areas. And that's what I will do for the rest of the chapters as well. So then you all know, Lamai, it's very easy then. You know what to focus, where to look at. So every week, we work on one of these focus areas. So today is our first class. Today what we will be doing is, we will focus on, Lamai, focus area number 1. Now to cover these focus areas, you all would have seen there were so many papers that were there in your file. So there is the main revision paper, Lamai. The revision paper, did you all see that one? Revision paper number 1. Yes. The one that has, I think, around 8 pages. First page says short note also. That is the main paper. That's the main paper that we will discuss during class. So then, now what do you all need to do? Now, since this is the first class and all of you all don't have the tute, I didn't tell you all to definitely do it and come. But from next week, you have to do it and come, right? I'll show you how it works. So this main revision paper. Now, this week, we are doing revision paper 1, 11. So next week, what we will be doing is we will be doing revision paper 2. Next week, we do revision paper number 2. So what you need to do is, now you all have all the papers. I have the answers of those papers. After discussing, I will send you all the answers. Now, if I won't give you the answer, then you all will not do it. So what you need to do is, Lamai, before the class, what time is our class? Class is at 4 p.m. You have one entire week. I don't care what time you do this. You can do it today itself, tomorrow itself, on Wednesday, early morning, Wednesday after school, whatever time. What you need to do is, Lamai, I'll give you all a deadline. So every week by 3:30 p.m. Every week by 3:30 p.m. you have to submit answers of the revision paper before coming to class. So first paper, you don't have to submit. That is what we will do this week. No, from next week onwards, I will send instructions on the group also, don't worry. Next week, we will do revision paper 2. So before the class is at 4 o'clock, Wednesday. Before that, by 3:30, you can submit it at any day. Deadline is Wednesday 3:30. So you do it on Tuesday and submit, Monday and submit, no problem. I'll tell you how to submit and all in the group, don't worry. You will submit your answers and then you come to class I will discuss that area. I will discuss that paper. For those who submit answers by the deadline, I will mark your paper also and give you. So every week you do a paper. Before the class, you do it and you submit it. Then in the class, I will discuss that paper. I will revise that area. So for example, next week, I will, so I'll tell you how it works. Next week, you look. So next week, what do you need to do? So you need to do the main paper. So next week, what will you all do, Lama, before coming to class? Revision paper number. Next week, we will focus on scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. Then before coming to class, what would you do? Yes, I'll have a post also with the highest people. This. So before coming to class, next week, by Wednesday, by 3:30 p.m., you will submit revision paper number 2. That is the main big paper, Lamai. The paper that has saying short note. I'll show you how to make the short note also, don't worry. You will submit that. You don't have to make the short note, that won't be marked. Short note is for your preference, but the questions you need to do. So after submitting the paper, what do? You come to class. You come to class. In class, what will I do? I will recap the theory parts of this. I will teach you what is scarcity, what is choice, what is opportunity cost. I'll teach you that for 1 hour. The next 1.5 hours, I will discuss that paper. So I have the answer scheme of that. I will discuss the paper. After discussing the paper, I will send you all the answer scheme. Within a week, I will mark that paper also and give. You have submitted before the class. So then out of, that's a 50 mark paper, goes up. Out of 100, I can give it as a percentage. Out of 100, I'll tell you all how much you all have actually got. So that's the main revision paper. Is that clear? How the main revision paper works? There are some other papers, I'll come to that. Main revision paper, every week we will discuss it in class. Before the class, you will do and you will submit answers. How to submit answers, I will tell you all that in the group. Don't worry about that. So next week, we are working on unit 2. You can write answers in the paper, Lamai. You don't have to need you don't need a full step. If by any chance, if the paper, you don't have space in the paper, then attach a full step. But in the paper itself, I have given lines for you all to write answers. So in the paper itself, write answers and you can submit. Okay. That's the main revision paper. Then apart from that, Lamai, I have also given you the past papers. Now, unit number 1, remember in the theory class, I gave you the entire unit 1 past papers. 2011 to 2023, I gave you everything. Now what I did is, that unit 1 past papers also, I broke it into the focus areas. So see if you have, so you should have 4 main papers. See if you all have 4 past papers. You all have that. Past papers, 4 past papers covering the 4 focus areas. Yes. Yes, so you have 4 of this. Plus, you need to have 4 past papers covering that. Now, what happens to those papers? Those papers, Namai, I will not be discussing in class. You all can do that on your own. Discussions of those are there on my YouTube channel as well. Answers for those are there in your past paper book. Plus, I will also type the answers and I will also give. So that is a self-learning that you will do. Later, next year, Lamai, I will do a past paper class with you all. This is the revision class. I will usually do a free past paper class. In that, I will anyway cover. That is why I am not discussing the past papers again here. I am discussing a separate revision paper that I made. So the main revision paper we will discuss. The past papers. No, it's not categorized as focus areas, but you can find the paper, no problem. The past papers, you have the question paper. Answers of that are there even on your past paper book. It's there, Nilamai. Past paper book, it's there. I will also type and give, no problem. I'll also type and give the answers for that. Then you can compare and get it done. So every week on your own, you try to get that done as well. So every week, Lama, your target is to master that focus area. So you will do the main paper and come, you will submit it, you will come to class, learn from that area, then do the past papers relating to that area. You can do that also. That is on your own. That I will not mark or discuss. I will give you all the answers. That is, you can handle them. That's the past paper. Then apart from that, Lamite, you also have something else in your tute. So you have 4 main papers, 4 past paper tutes broken into the focus areas. What else do you have? You have a take-home paper, no? Take-home papers, I think I only put 3. I didn't put 4. So take-home papers, Lamite, there are 3 take-home papers. So along with this take-home papers, I also gave you the answer. Now, those answers you all don't have. Past paper answers, I will type and give. It's there in your past paper book also. This main paper, I didn't send you the answers because then you all will copy. No. You can't. This is the main paper is what you have to submit. So take-home papers also, you don't have to submit. Along with the take-home paper, you have the answers. You do that on your own. You do that on your own. You have the answer scheme also. You compare and see. You can do it. So there are 3 take-home papers. So that means covering unit number 1, Lamai, in total, there are 11 papers that we will do. 4 main papers each week. The 4 main revision papers only you all will write and submit. That I will mark and give only if you submit by the deadline. Deadline is when? Half an hour before the class. Class is on Wednesday, 4 o'clock. By 3:30, you have to submit. So the first paper I'm not going to mark because today we are discussing. Now, after I discuss and give you the answers, no point me marking the paper. So the first one, I will not be marking. The second one onwards from next week, I will mark and give. Every week I will mark it and give. Now, the previous batches and all, I didn't do anything, but this batch I thought I will take that extra step and I will do it. Yes, today the first paper we will discuss, we will mark it together. I will tell you how to allocate marks. We will mark it together. From next paper onwards, I will mark and give. Is that clear? Yes, we'll see who gets the top 10 and all of that also. We'll see how it goes. So I think if you can cover all of those 11 papers, Lamai, unit number 1 will get covered. You will cover the whole of unit number 1. Now, in your revision class, Lama, I have not given you a tute. I have not given you like a theory tute. So you can use your normal theory tute that you have. You all have a theory tute, Lama. Most of you all are my 80% of you all are my theory class students. You have my unit 1 tute. So I thought no point duplicating a note. For the previous batch I did, Lama, I cut off that and I increased the papers for you. For the previous batch, I only gave the 4 main revision papers and I gave them a tute. But then when I got feedback from them, what they said is, so that tute we don't even use because the same things are only there in the theory tute. So I cut off that tute. I put more effort to you all in terms of questions. So what I will do is, Lamai, I will be sharing slides and I will be writing on that. So anyone who doesn't have a theory tute, those slides I will upload on my website. The first month I will share it on the WhatsApp group freely, since it's a free class. From going forward, my slides that I have, the notes and all, I will upload it on the website. So anyone who doesn't have a theory tute, you can study that. But most of you all have. Like there's a very few people who might not have. At least you all have, you all are going to another theory class, you all are going to school, you have some note. Study that. Revision will mainly be focused on papers. Okay, that's the revision. Then when will I finish the syllabus in the revision class? When have I told you all that I will finish? How to submit answers, I'll tell you all. In 1 week, I will mark the papers and give. So by next year, March, next year means 2025. By 2025 March, I will complete the revision class syllabus. That is unit number 1 to unit number 12. Unit number 1 to unit number 12. When is your exam? Ideally, it has to happen in August. Can get a little delayed also. We don't know, but we'll prepare for August. It won't be before August, that we know for sure. We'll prepare for August. If it gets pushed a little, I will still finish my theory and revision class syllabus by March. After that, what I do is I will adjust that a little after that. Okay, so revision class, all of these papers, everything, you will finish by when? You will finish by next year, March. I don't care when your A-level exam. Then apart from that, now that's the revision. Now, just to let you all know what's happening in theory. Now, all are also guys, now these classes, now you all know how it happens. It happens online on Zoom, just like this. All these classes, I will be recording and uploading on my website as well. First month, I will most likely upload it on YouTube, free class now. From next month onwards, I will be uploading it on my website. So then you can watch the recordings unlimited times until end. So don't worry about this class getting missed. Sometimes my sports practice, something is there, right? You might miss it. So don't worry. You submit your revision class answers that you have the entire week. So even Wednesday, if you have sports practice, on Tuesday, you submit that has to come from you. You submit your answers. The discussion recording is there. Even 1 to 2 hours after the class, I will upload it. Even at night, you can watch, no problem. So don't worry about missing that class. Recording is always there, but try your level best to be there. Then in terms of, yes, you can submit papers early, no problem. Then in terms of our theory class, that also is a nice point for you all to start if you all are looking at starting Lamai. So you all know the A-level syllabus has 12 units. So far in my theory class, I have completed unit number 1 to 4. 1 to 4 is done. Next Monday, theory class happens Monday 7 to 9:30. So next Monday, I am commencing unit number 5. The best thing about unit number 5, just like unit number 4, it is not connected to any previous unit. So let's say even someone is starting to study today, you can start with unit number 5 now. Unit number 5 is not connected to 1, 2, 3, and 4. So even if you don't know anything of 1, 2, 3, and 4, you will still understand unit number 5. So you can start this coming Monday. It's a paid class. Class fee is 2,800 a month. You will get the relevant tunes. You will get the relevant recordings of that month. All of that you will get. If you want to cover up unit 1 to 4, some teachers tell you all to join the 2026 class and do all of that. I feel that's a waste of time, Lavan, because in the 2026 class, for me to do unit number 1 to 4, it'll take me around 8 to 9 months. 8 to 9 months means you have to pay the fees for 8 to 9 months. You have to wait for 8 to 9 months to cover those. That's Boruvadak. That's going to waste your time and also waste all of that. If you want to cover up unit 1 to 4, if you have the basic knowledge, Lavan, if you have the basic knowledge of the unit, then even revision is enough, I will say. Let's say you go to school, some parts you can't remember. Then Lamai, to cover the previous units, you can cover it with revision. But let's say you don't know anything about 1, 2, 3, 4, you're completely blank. Then Lamai, revision is hard because revision is mainly papers, like I showed you. If that is the case, if you are completely blank, then you can purchase the recordings and the tunes of these units and cover it up as well. That option is there. But if the thing is that you studied, you can't remember, then I will say revision is okay. But if you're newly studying that, then I won't say revision is enough because revision is all mostly papers. So that's about the theory class. So theory class also, I will finish off the syllabus by March 2025. So by next year, March, this month is August. So August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. In another 8 months, I will finish the entire theory syllabus. I will finish the entire revision syllabus. So by next year, March, that is at least 4 or 5 months before your A-level exam, you will be done with the syllabus twice. You're done with that class. After that, I will do a fast track program. I will do a mock exam series. We will do a free pass paper class. I will again cover the syllabus another 3 times. So total before the exam, I will teach the entire syllabus 5 times and you will go there. So don't worry about syllabus coverage. Usually, I don't know if you know, I usually am a teacher who covers the syllabus comparatively way earlier than most other teachers. You will realize this not now, you will realize this next year. To the revision paper, can we refer the tube? Yes, no, that's okay. If you can't write answers alone, at least refer the tube 10. Right. If you have double knowledge, maybe revision should be enough. This should be done with the focus areas. Yes, focus areas and the take-home papers, you all can do at home. Ideally, if you can do one a week, one focus area past paper, one take-home paper a week, along with the main paper, ideal. Even if you're falling a little behind, that's okay. Make sure the main paper is done. Other papers, tika you get it done. Okay. Yes. So revision lamai, even if you have the basic idea, you will be able to cover it up. Is that clear? And all of this lamai now, we are doing a theory class, in the revision class and all. We are doing this 11 odd papers is not for you to pass the exam. Please get that out of your head. I am not a teacher who teaches you just to pass. I honestly don't know what the A-level pass mark is. Some people say 35, some people say 40, some people say no, sir, 30. I don't know, and I don't care because I don't teach someone just to pass. You have exactly 1 year from now for your exam. It is the start of August. Most likely your exam, let's say, will earliest can happen in August. That means you exactly have 1 year. Maybe like 2-3 months before the exam, if you come and say what to do, I will tell somehow try to pass. Now you have 1 year, Lamai. Even if you had a 0 level right now, I'll tell you, you still can get that 90. 75 also I feel is a little too low for me. 75 also, Lamai, maybe just going for a theory class. If you probably go for a theory class, you can get 70. So with all what we're doing, your target is to get at least a 90 for econ. Yes, after doing all these 11 papers, learning theory, getting your papers marked, yes, I will give you all the answers of this paper as well. Okay. After doing all of that, my 75 is like a understatement. You can't aim for that. So you aim for 100 out of 100. That has to be your target. You will at least, you shoot for the moon. You'll at least, maybe you'll not hit the star, you'll at least hit a coconut. So you'll at least, let's say, get 90 or 95. We'll aim for 100 out of 100. You end up at least 90 or 90. So that's what I have in mind for y'all for the next few months. It's going to be hard work. If you are someone who is just looking at sitting and looking at a screen and getting an A, that won't happen. You have to complete all these papers. So just unit number 1 itself has 11 papers. So just think Lamai, all the other units. There are 12 units in the syllabus. So if you put all of those papers together, then that is a total around 100 odd papers that is there. That is just for revision. After that, we will do more papers. So you make sure that you get that done. Island ranks, Z scores, yes, there are changes based on different subjects, but it also matters on how well you do the subject level. Now, for example, the question has been sometimes some people say IT has a higher Z score. Okay. Maybe IT might have a higher Z score currently because the rural schools don't have IT much. That reason, there could be a reason. Z score is not based on just the average mark. Z score is based on how much you do also. Now, for example, let's say IT is a little hard, you get 80. Econ is easier, you get 90. So then your Z score might be the same. But let's say for a hard IT paper, you got 80. And for an easy econ paper, you got 80, then IT might stand out a little bit more. Or IT or econ or IT or BS, whatever thing. So if you can do econ well, if you can target the 90s, and I'll tell you, target to become island first, that's okay. But it does your island rank and all at the end doesn't really matter much. As long as you can at least become among the top 300 in the island, you can get into any local university. Now you will be wondering, this fellow is, he is dabbering. I want to become island first. I'm telling this to you, Lama, because I was also among the top 50 in the island in my year when I did A-levels in 2017. Looking back now, I realize that it doesn't make much of a difference now. Whether I was island first or island 50th or island 100th or whatever. If let's say you're among, let's say the top 200, top 300 in the island, that is more than enough for you to get into any local university. And also the difference between the first in the island and the, let's say, the 200th in the island. First and the 200th, the difference is lamai, let's say 4 or 5 marks. So those 4 or 5 marks are during the exam lamai, you might make a careless mistake. You might make a small khana shot. Island first would have got a khana shot correct. Island 200 would have got 2, 3 khana shots wrong. Some would have made a careless mistake. These small Z score changes. So those are not under your control. So don't worry about those level. You worry about getting your highest possible mark. On the day of the exam, you might make a careless mistake. Your khana shot might go right. That's not under our control. So we'll control what we can. So you target for 100 out of 100. Some khana shots go right, go wrong, something happens. You'll at least get 90 to 95. If you can get 90 to 95 for your 3 subjects, trust me, you will be among the top 100 in the pilot for all 3. So that is what I have. Okay, right. In terms of fees, Lamai, I have kept it comparatively at a very fair and reasonable level. So in terms of your fees, the theory class fees is the same. Your theory class fees is a 2,800 a month. Your revision class with all the papers, given that I mark all the papers. Now to mark all the papers, I have to hire people from outside to mark, let's say, I don't know how many papers will get submitted next week, but let's say to mark, let's say 200 papers. To mark 200 papers, at least if I pay, let's say 100 to 150 per paper per student, for per week itself, that's a big cost for me. And that I do for one entire month. So because of that reason, and also printing cost and all of it, I don't print cheaply. I usually print a good quality file with some nice papers. So revision class fee is a 3,000 a month, but I know that's a lot. And I know teachers who charge way more than that. If you come for both theory and revision, that's 5,800 nilamai. If you come for both theory and revision, then you have a discount. You will only be paying 5,000 rupees a month. So for a student who comes for theory already, who pays a 2,800, that's an additional 2,200 that you will be effectively paying. So revision class fee is like a 2,200. But if you're only coming for revision, then that's going to be a 3,000. This month, don't pay anything for revision. This month, revision is completely free. I will mark your papers and all and give as well. Don't worry. Okay. Any other questions now before we get started? Any questions? Quick ones. How do you study every day? I think Lamai, that has to start small. You can't all of a sudden Lamai, let's say start to study 5-6 hours a day. ඒක වෙන්නේ නෑ ළමයි. Start small. Start with, let's say, 15 minutes a day. Train your brain to sit in one place for 15 minutes and study. Tomorrow 20 minutes. Little by little you increase your time. Then 1 month later, now you're studying around 2 hours a day. Now that is good. All of a sudden, 2 hours a day study kara namara. It's hard, it's difficult. So you have to train your mind little by little. 15 minutes, then 20, then 25, then 30, and a small 5-minute break and come back. You do that, then that's fine. Why do I do the class free? One main reason is this class I don't think is a very big thing, but why do I do the past paper class? I do a past paper class entirely free because I feel even someone who can't even afford a normal theory or revision class, at least with past papers, you can pass the exam. So at least if you're poor enough, not able to afford a normal class, at least with this, you should be able to get it done. Please don't memorize anything, Lamai. Try to understand, write answers. We'll see how you all write answers, how you all go. I'll quickly share a few short notes that I have from the previous batch also to show you all how to make short notes that I will be showing you. Give me a second. Let me share a few pictures on the group. I will share this mainly in the revision class groups of iTutor and the Satya College one. Okay, right. I just shared a few dudes. I just realized someone has Message also. Okay. Right. So that's a few short notes. I'll show you all how to make some interesting short notes as well. Okay. So with this, the introduction part of it is done. We'll get into the unit.